How you guys doing today? This is Darius from Down on the TV. Welcome to the channel. So it's a new year, new beginnings, and I want to talk about how if you have to stay in the United States or stay in the West, how you can manage relationships as modern women in the West. They aren't going to change, unfortunately, especially American Black women. They're not going to change their ways and human nature, most people will not change unless you force them or it's extremely beneficial for them to change. And unfortunately for women, because they are the weaker vessel, as the Lord says, they are susceptible to their emotions. So they're not going to do the logical thing or the honorable thing or the right thing because that's not their purpose. That's a man's duty to be able to lead and do the right thing and suffer, even if it doesn't benefit him. And so with Black women in the States, a lot of them, unfortunately, are in their own way. In general, most women in the West, they get in their own way because there are a lot of good men. They complain about there's no masculine men, there's no good men, but there are good men. But the problem is they don't want those men. So I would say for the men that if you want to be with these modern women, you have to pretty much give up the traditional values, give up trying to live a traditional life because the woman that you with isn't a traditional woman. She wasn't raised to be a wife. She wasn't raised to be a wife. So don't try to live a traditional 1950s lifestyle because these women were raised to go to school, go to work, and get their own degrees and careers. They were not made to cook, clean, serve you, be good mothers. They weren't raised to take care of a man. They weren't raised to know how to nurture properly, learn how to show you respect and reverence. They weren't taught those things. Even back in the day, women had to go to school to prepare them to become mothers and wives. They had schools specifically just for women to become mothers and wives. So even back then, you had to train women first before they can become a mother and a wife, because that in itself is a great honor to be a mother and a wife. And in modern times, we don't really celebrate motherhood. We don't celebrate women being housewives because now we celebrate women wanting to have careers and to live the life of a man, when in fact, it makes them miserable. I know I work with majority women. I have been doing this for over 10 years. I've been working with women. And the key factor I've noticed, the common denominator with every woman that I work with is they are not happy. They don't have any joy working 9 to 5. It drains them emotionally. They're extremely moody. And the women, even if they make good money, there's no joy in it for the average woman who works at 9 to 5 and has a career. But it brings a lot of women joy that I've noticed when they're taking care of kids, when they're around kids, when they're doing playful things like what kids do. That gives them joy. Working 9 to 5, the grueling 8-hour shift, it spiritually kills them, to be honest with you. So because we live in these modern times and men have no natural authority over women where they can dictate and correct bad behaviors or correct any errors in the society, we as men don't have that authority because our forefathers sold that away by giving women the right to vote. And so what you can do is adjust. So because women aren't housewives, they weren't raised to be one, they weren't raised, none of them are virgins, most of them can't cook and clean, that's okay. I would suggest, guys, don't live with women. You as a functioning adult, you stay living in your own place, and then the woman stays living in her apartment because she has a career. She can take care of herself. She doesn't need you financially, on paper at least, to take care of you. So you don't need her financially. And on paper, she shouldn't need you. Now, what I've noticed is because I work with a lot of women, a lot of them are not financially healthy. A lot of women are in a lot of commercial debt, car note debt, student loan debt. So they're maintaining their standard of living in debt. Now, she needs to learn how to manage her finances. So, as the man, you can offer your help to her to manage her finances and make her healthy. But you two should never move in together. There is no reason for you and your girlfriend to move in together because one, she's going to hate how you live. She's going to complain and bitch and nag about how you don't wash the dishes or you don't take out the trash. She's going to nitpick and it's going to tear apart your relationship. So the best thing for you guys to do is to never move in together. Never. There's no point because one, she's not going to cook and clean for you. She's not going to be a wife. So there's no real reason for you guys to move in together. And as a man, as a functioning adult, she should be able to take care of herself because she has a functioning job. So she should need you financially. And you as a man definitely shouldn't need her financially. You having a 9-to-5 should be able to take care of yourself. And see, you guys living separately together will be good for your relationship because there's less conflict. And because you guys are both functioning adults and equal, quote unquote, we have to lean into that. We have to lean into the equality of the modernity because we were born in this. So we should adjust accordingly. So you two being two functionally adults, your relationship will be better if you two stayed apart. You guys can stay over each other's houses some nights, but you all should maintain your own separate places. Now, if you as a man need a woman in order to live, then you shouldn't be dating. We're talking about the average man who is already financially healthy. Now, you shouldn't get with a woman who isn't financially healthy. Now, that's the only thing. We as men, we have to pick women now that are financially healthy, or at least they can maintain their standard of living with debt. But the main thing is you don't want to have to live with a woman. You don't need to. There's no point. She doesn't want to be a wife, or she wasn't raised to be one. She wasn't trained. So there's no point. And you bring it up to her that, hey, it'll be better for our relationship if we stayed living apart, because I'm not going to put any pressure on you to be a wife, because a lot of issues come into play and disappointments when the man doesn't meet her expectations as a husband and the wife doesn't meet his expectations. So it's better that they stay apart. And there's no point in getting married either. You guys should just be able to stay together because she isn't a wife. Technically, she isn't a biblical wife where she will be submissive and obedient. And because you're not requiring that of her, there's no point in getting married on paper. It's silly. And you can still have kids in this arrangement where you guys live separately. The kids can come over your house. They can come over her house. You all guys can still do everything as a family, but you two still maintain separate housing. And this is the best idea I can come up with, because if most men cannot live overseas, it's just impossible, because one, the system doesn't want you as a functioning, healthy man who pays taxes to go overseas, because the economy would collapse if all the able-bodied functioning men who aren't on welfare and who aren't retards go overseas to the third world countries. And the third world countries don't even want you because you're going to cause the prices to go up because you're bringing too much wealth. And there's not enough remote jobs for everybody to make money online to live in these countries. So So we have to deal with the women that we have, unfortunately. And we can't change anything because the average man is selfish and a coward. So nobody's going to reform the system from within. So we're just going to have to adjust to the environment where we're going to have to not live a traditional life, because that 9 to 5, that 1950 lifestyle is dead. Women aren't virgins. They can't cook. They're not going to wash your feet, be submissive, take care of the house. Most of them don't even want kids. So, okay, we can adjust. There's no point in us living together because you're not going to be a wife. You don't want to be a wife, a traditional Christian wife, or traditional wife in general. Ain't no point in us living together. So this is the best option I can think of for men who are stuck in the States. We're going to have to do this. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Darius.